Hello, this is G Nitro. I'm going to be reviewing an updated version of my texture pack. Please subscribe to my channel with notifications on if you haven't already. Leave a like on this video and follow me on Twitter. I have placed my old profile picture in the title screen because it's a creeper and I think it looks quite good there. And I have changed the look of the icons. This is actually the bedrock texture which I made. I'll start where we first started last time. I've made all the textures seamless, so there isn't a sudden line where the squares are, so you can't exactly see the repeated texture as easily. So this is andesite. This is diorite. This is granite. This is polished granite, polished diorite, and polished andesite. I changed the grass texture so that the red and orange bits aren't actually seen as well. I've added the texture for TNT, so it's dynamite held in by wooden planks with the letters TNT on the sides and gunpowder string on top, which is new. This is podzol. Oh yeah, and also I've changed the dirt texture so that it's actually seamless. Before it wasn't, but now it is. And I also changed the stones to be a lot more high quality and added moss to them, so it looks a lot better. The pumpkin textures and jack-o'-lantern textures are the same, soul sand's the same, netherite's the same, glowstone's the same, endstone's the same. The stone texture is different because it's got a variety, just like the dirt texture has. It's got tiny pieces of dirt within it. I might actually change the background of the texture to something slightly different because it looks very grainy. But I'll change that eventually, and I've changed the iron ore and cone ore. The grass texture on the sides is different also. It's basically the tall grass texture. Everything's a lot more smoother, and I've used the oil tool on them, which is making it a lot better. I've made cocoa bean pods, and not actually the items for the cocoa beans, the actual pod itself has been made, and the vines had been created. And also the bottom of the wood textures had been added. It's looking a little bit more three-dimensional rather than flat. I've created all the plank textures. I can't remember whether I've actually shown off the plank textures last time or not. It's been so long since I've last done a video on my texture pack. This is just the top of the stone textures again. The brick textures are rougher than before, and as well as the stone brick textures, I'll show the difference on the side. It's a lot more grainy, and I've changed the cobblestone texture quite a lot as well. I've added orange cows for some reason. I don't know why I've decided to have them orange, but never mind. I've changed the sand texture so that it's a lot less orange and it's got white highlights on them, which is better. I've actually created the water texture, which is animated, which is awesome, but still not as good as the Sphax Pure BD Craft, because instead of just changing the position and the color of it, the Sphax BD Craft one actually changes the shapes of the water bubbles, which I don't really know how to do. I've made cactus textures with a sort of rose on top. Over here we've got wool with a sort of checker pattern on it. You can see with your eyes what it looks like. I don't need to really describe it. I think it looks good. I'm not too sure whether black wool should be really black or not, but I think this is a good colour for the black wool also. I haven't actually changed the birch wood texture. Over here I've animated the lava texture, but for some reason the lava texture scales really weirdly, so it only shows a quarter of it rather than the full thing. This is the still lava texture I made, which is animated, and this is the flowing one. And you can see the still texture on top. It looks terrible because of the weird scaling thing it has. If you have any idea on how I could fix the weird scaling thing, which it basically shows only a quarter of the square, then that'll be very helpful. What else? Pistons. These are the pistons. Wait, I'll get a redstone torch. I've also made the texture for redstone torches and the normal torches also. So the normal torches are actually animating in the hand, which is good, but I think the animation is slightly too fast, and I've also made the lever texture, which automatically picks the cobblestone texture as the bottom, which is annoying because I'd like to texture that separately. That's the side of the pistons. This is the sticky piston texture, if you like it. I think it looks really slimy, which is the purpose of it. And I've also made the moon texture and the sun texture, which is, if it's evening, then you would actually see a spiral there, but if it's during the day, then you wouldn't actually see the spiral that badly, and it's got a orange outline. It looks pink during the day. Okay, over here I've created farm textures. This is the farm texture without water, and this is the farm texture with it. I think it's one of my favorite textures, but next to it is one of my worst textures. This looks nothing like wheat. In my opinion, anyway. This is melon. This is... I haven't actually done the potato textures yet, or the beetroot textures, but I will eventually. I've done the sides of the pumpkins. Around here is bookshelves. I've put a globe on one of the shelves. I think it looks good, but it looks weird because the globe is just repeating, but oh well. There's nothing really I can do about it right now. Unless I change the values so that the bookshelf with the globe is a lot more rare. It looks strange with loads of globes there, but oh well. This is the stone slabs, and this is the cake. I haven't actually done the item for the cake texture yet. This is the bedrock, which is actually shown in the loading screen. This is gravel. I've changed it so that the small stones are even smaller. What's annoying about the sand is that it doesn't actually connect if it changes the direction, but there's nothing I can do about it, and it still looks good, I think, in my opinion. But when it's on the side like this, then you can actually see the full texture and it's all glory. This is the clay texture, and this is the water texture again. I think it looks good. I haven't done the boat textures yet. This is the lily pad textures. Can I just run across here? Well, walk across here whilst placing the lily pads. That's cool. I didn't realise I can do this. I can just walk across the water whilst placing lily pads and just for an infinite amount of time. Oh, and I eventually fell in. Great. I've now got a sort of big line of lily pads. Great. I haven't done any of the entity textures or the flower textures yet. I always felt as though the sugarcane textures were boring in Minecraft, so I made them scroll back and forth throughout it. I think, in my opinion, looks better than just going directly straight up, which is good and all, but I think it's a bit too short of a distance between it scrolls back and forth, but there's nothing I can do about it because the blocks are a certain size, if you know what I mean by that. I'll take a small look at the tops of the log textures. I think they look quite realistic in my opinion. It's weird how you can't exactly place the logs directly in front. You need to actually place one below and then one on top to actually see the bottom of the texture. This is spruce ones with the crack there, and this is the dark oak. This is the acacia one. I think the sides are slightly too blurry. I need to change that eventually. The oak wood texture for the bottom looks very smooth, which I like. And this is the birch wood. I want to have them all different on the bottom, so that's why. For variety, I don't want them all looking the exact same. I haven't changed the obsidian texture yet. I made the creeper texture the same as the grass texture, so that it looks camouflaged. This is the glass texture. It's meant to be metal bars. I think it looks really good. I might add an animation to them so that there's a shine, so it's lighter in a certain area which is moving from one corner to the next eventually, so that it actually looks a lot less boring. The problem with the texture looking like this, I found out, is that the glass panes don't actually match up with the normal glass, which is annoying because they go through the middle. I haven't actually done the tops of them yet. I've done the door textures, which actually need redone thinking about it because the handles look terrible. And this is the metal door. What really annoys me is if I do the front texture with the lovely valve in front. It's annoying because it looks stupid. I can't texture the sides separately for some reason. It's also at the top, as you can see. But the actual door itself from the front and back looks quite good. You can see the moon over there, which is interesting. I haven't done the ladder texture yet, although I have done the trapdoor texture, which is pieces of wood crossed up against each other with the nails through, which I think looks really good. It does the same thing, it just copies the texture to the sides as well, which is frustrating because it looks terrible. Well, it's not as bad with the trapdoor, but I would rather if I would be able to texture it myself. So, overall, what do you think of this texture pack? I think it looks superb. There is a lot of textures needing to be done, like all the item textures. If anyone which is in the industry for games, please hire me to do textures for the games which you're making. I'd be very happy to do them. I've still got loads of item textures needing to be done up, including all the spawn eggs and Eye of Ender, and I haven't actually done the texture for the beds yet, but I will do eventually. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this, please leave a like and share this and subscribe with notifications on if you haven't already. Thank you very much for watching, and bye bye.